You can, even if 100 people come and tell you that you look good,
Exactly.
if you don't feel good about yourself,
then there's no way.
And she was like, "Eh, now you sweat like a goat." Did being single ever add as a factor?
If you don't try and uplift yourself, you will always remain in that shallow corner or in that space.
Sometimes there's even a reason why somebody can be a certain way.
Exactly.
It might be due to a sickness or a condition. It might not be like as you see.
As you see it.
Hi love and welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, just in case you're stepping by for the first time, you are very welcome. A returning subscriber, welcome back. On today's episode, I have with me the beautiful, the evergreen, gorgeous girl, Niyen. I'll leave her to introduce herself.
Yeah, my name is Niyen and I am a nurse.
I already told you about the topic I wanted us to discuss. I want to ask you, what do you think insecurities are from your own understanding?
The term insecurity is a very personal thing. Just giving like a general explanation. Insecurities are basically things that you don't like about yourself, physically, mentally, or emotionally. Things that
you don't feel good enough in that particular part. For me, I think insecurities can be anything. Instead of being not good enough or inadequate of oneself, it might be a part of yourself. How did you actually know that, okay, this was an insecurity? How did you accept it when you even found out that, okay, this, I don't feel confident about this part of myself. I don't feel confident about this physical or mental or whatever it is. And what is actually your insecurity?
I think I've had it for the longest period of time. Has to go as far back to secondary school. There was always this thing, like they were trying to fit in, trying to have like a sense of identification, belonging and everything. University came.
Okay, we have to say university has gone because we are done.
So during that lockdown, I put on a lot of weight. Like it was really depressing. Not like it at home I already knew. You know how parents can be sometimes like and everything. That's true. So I came to school and I was just like, God, what happened? What has happened? Like,
how have you been able to? I mean, you have realized that, oh, okay, I have this insecurity. There's this part where I don't feel good enough. How have you been able to manage it? Because one thing Nia taught me was, I think I called you like 2 months back when I was during posting. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to discuss about this topic. I mean, it's a touchy topic. I don't hit any nerve. It's okay. But I think I was like, Nia, what we want to talk about is insecurities and how you have overcome it or how you can overcome it or something like that. And Nia was like, do you actually ever like move past insecurities, like overcome insecurities, or you just try to manage it? And that was the way you put it to me. And I was like, oh, okay, actually, do people ever move past PTSDs, traumas, or they just look for it to manage it and not, make that be their identity? So, like, I want to ask you now, how have you been able to manage it over time, over the years?
The first step in moving away from insecurities is identifying it and accepting that this is what's wrong with you. Because if you remain in denial, trust me, you will never move from it. Like, I started going to the gym. Yes.
I wanted to say that because I know I noticed it. And
at first, let me say the truth. The reason why I wanted to go to the gym was I felt like if I lost weight, I would be more lovable. Do you understand? And that is totally wrong. Like, whenever you want to change something about yourself, it should never be because you want people to love you more. It's because you want to get somebody's attention. It should be for your own benefit, for your own good. So I started and I realized that this particular goal was not sustainable. What should I do? I eventually had to put something that was sustainable. Like, okay, I want to be healthy. I don't want to die young. I don't want to have terminal disease when I'm getting old. I want to live long. I want to look good when I'm 50. And I also want to look good like in dress and everything. They may seem superficial, but they're actually tangible because it is you. That is your own goal and everything. Then just saying, oh, I want to be able to carry out activities. I don't want to look so tired. Like whenever I'm walking, I don't want to be stressed. I want to look like as if, oh, I am not tired. Okay, like this climbing of stairs and everything. I don't know. Ever since I started going to the gym, I hardly, except I'm sick.
I'm tired.
Like,
God.
So it has really helped. Another thing that has helped me in my journey of insecurity, I tell myself that wherever I find myself lacking, I always have something that compensates for it. Okay, now I have insecurities on my body. I was doing well in school. If there's one thing I've realized about insecurity and body and beauty standards is that beauty standards they change with time and with region. Like the beauty standards of now is definitely not going to be beauty standards of tomorrow
Honestly,
or next
yeah.
tomorrow. So
That thing happens.
if you want to say you want to keep up with these beauty
Trend.
standards, exactly these beauty trends and everything, you'll be affecting yourself and your health and you're putting yourself in danger for people that don't care. So just do your thing. Whatever makes you happy at the end of the day. Okay. So don't try.
Did being single ever add as a factor? You know when sometimes women seek attention, and I think it's very normal. Like I'll use myself an example. So there was this time, because for me it did. During lockdown.
Yes.
I've always been a slim girl, kind of like, even if I was not slim, maybe a little bit more of weight ahead. When I went home during lockdown period, I came back. I was getting a lot of, you added, oh, you're not looking nice. And I added in the right places. I even added in my face. I did not know as at that time that I liked the attention I was getting. Before I even walk from block A to block B, like I'll see two boys, I'll see one boy, like it will always be an admirer. If it was not physical, it was online,
Online, I guess.
from
Yes.
somebody that, oh my god, you look so good and everything. Like about 6 months to a year, I lost weight. When I started working, like for money, I lost so much weight that people started asking me, Rosetta, are you sick? That period safe, I knew that I lost weight because most of my clothes were like really
Like
slacking. Even my collarbone
refer
safe,
on you.
you can literally put water on it and to lift it that time. No, legit. So I was getting like, are you sick? Are you this? Are you that? Are you this? Like you look, people always have opinions about your body.
Exactly
That period, I wasn't getting as much attention like I
as you
used
used to
to.
get.
And apart from that one, I was single at that time. So I was not like, is it that I'm not good enough? I was like, I'm not sexy. And I didn't know when it became a body insecurity. Anytime it's sometimes that time self, it's even now I'm trying to accept compliments. Before, if you tell me that you look good, your body is fine, I like it, I'll tell you are lying to me. If boys even approach me self that period, I'm like, why are you approaching me? Are you mocking me? It was that bad because like why are you approaching a slim girl like me, a girl that did not have I wasn't thick.
Because as at that time there's a beauty
Yeah.
standard.
And that period I was not in a relationship. I did not know what I wanted that time. Yes. For me, I would say yes, being single added as a factor. But I want to know your own opinion. Or that time I don't know if you're single. Are you single?
Being single definitely, because I feel like in as much as we females we try to hide it or try to push the thoughts, some people like opposite sex attention. Me personally, I don't know. I don't even know against it, but
I used to like it too.
exactly like I used to like it.
I
Like
won't lie.
what is this? I think I like it more when like a girl will tell you, oh, you look so fine, you look so beautiful, you're looking so good. Like it's really really nice. But then like I just used to. It's like as if I used to feed on male validation. Like it was
Feed on
so
people's
bad.
attention.
With time and with maturity, if you're looking for a man's validation, they it will not work because you want to look good so that the so-called person will cheat on you. Whoever wants to cheat will still cheat. If that is even a being, like whoever wants to leave you will leave you, irrespective of how you look, how you dress, or how you are. If that person is not matured and disciplined enough to know what he has in front of him, then you know that that person is not worth it. Exactly,
Rich.
that is it.
That is it. And say somebody watching this video now just realize that, oh, okay, or bumped into this video and is trying to manage insecurities. What are the steps? What are like, okay, mention 4 steps. You take 4, I'll take 4 that you think the person should follow in like, getting better in managing the insecurities the person has.
Personally, I am still trying to figure this whole thing out because I still have times when the thing used
Exactly.
to see the process of self-discovery and just like changing things about yourself is that sometimes you find yourself like trying to go back
It's
to all
not an
these
easy
things or this feeling
journey.
like it's easier said than
It's
done.
not an easy
That is the
journey.
first thing. That is even the first step. Like it's easier said than done. That's why you have to acknowledge this thing and admit it to yourself and know that okay, this is what it is. Then secondly, I feel like whatever you don't like about yourself, if you can change it, then change it. But whenever you're changing something, always consider like the long-term effect of it, like the long-term benefit of it. Also, like if you want to change something about yourself, always consider that okay, this thing that I'm doing now, is it harmful to my health? Will it harm me? Will it cause any like I feel like you should always consider the long term effect because there are different ways to change however you look these days. We have like we have the Brazilian butt lift, we have the
A
Botox,
lot of things. Even
a lot of things. So
this insecurity self, we're even talking about okay, what if maybe somebody's shy? That
exactly.
okay, they have low self-esteem.
Yes. So like you always need to consider these things. And I just want to tell you that the beauty about slow progress is that you tend to discover a lot of things about you. And if you can go to the gym, because the gym is a very, very good place. It helps with your mental
And
health
getting there.
and it also helps like your emotional health. It helps with everything. So imagine getting everything in one package, but you just have to make the sacrifice and make the commitment and be consistent with it. And you realize that during the period that you don't tend to think about all these things as you used to before because you're not idle. And also
And doing something.
and yes, you're doing something and also it helps with sleeping, like if you have insomnia. So you can consider that this whole technique or method of changing it comes with a lot of things. So that's why I'm saying that whenever you want to change something, you should always consider like the long-term effects of all these things. Then secondly, of this, I want you to know that people will always have something to say. People are always going to talk. People, as long as what you're saying is not affecting me or is not adding or moving anything to my life, then I should have no business what you're saying.
Yeah. The first steps I would say is like Niyen said, first of all you have to accept those insecurities, what your insecurities are or is, whatever the case may be. I'll tell you to find if you decide that okay, let's say for instance I have a body insecurity, or let's say I feel shy in crowd, I can't talk out, you know. I can't exactly talk out. I'm just giving an example now. I can't exactly talk out in crowd. I'll tell the person to find, if you decide to change it, find a purpose because not everybody really wants to change their insecurity. Some people just want to
Yes.
continue living that way. But if you are someone that wants to change it, I'll tell you to find a purpose for changing it. Because like Nia said, when you decide to find a purpose for changing it, it's even if because it's not going to be an easy
It's not
journey.
good. It's definitely not an easy
If
journey.
you are being weighed down, you are tired, by the time you remember the
Your purpose.
it then gives you some sort of motivation. I'll give myself as an instance. So right now, I'm at the point in my life where I know that okay, I want to have this kind of body structure because it's good for
Yes.
me health wise. I've noticed that because I have this kind of health thing, so I know that okay, it's comfortable for me. Even if I'm going to add a bit more, I was like, okay, I just want to tone my body. It's just going to be a more of toning. You understand what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
So I'm like, okay, that period where I fluctuated, when I became slim, imagine I decided that I want to now add so that I will, you understand, I will get validation or something from other people.
People.
It wouldn't have really made sense because when I'm not adding and I don't get that validation, what's happened? You know what will not happen? By the time you become fat because for somebody or you become slim for somebody, what then happens if the person does not give you accolades, if the person does not support you?
Exactly.
It's very temporary
It's
thing.
not
It's not
even permanent.
sustainable.
It's not sustainable. Exactly.
Yeah. I think the third thing I'll say is if you decide that you want to maybe you want to read books, because for me podcasts helped me during that period. I started listening to a lot of podcasts. I think one of them was like to my sisters. I started listening to a lot of podcasts. You know, I've noticed that if you want to change something about yourself, something that's part of you, you have to be ready to put in the work. It's not going to be easy. Most times we are what we eat, we are what we listen to.
Yes.
It just now determines what you take in is what you're going to give out.
Give out. Yes,
You understand?
exactly.
So you're going to have to put in the work, maybe read books, get self-help books.
And you can also social media too. Funny because there are a lot of people on TikTok that share like how to like in terms of losing weight or
Yeah,
gaining weight.
social media
There are a lot
too.
of people out there that will tell you what
Because
to do.
the most common insecurity is actually body insecurity.
Body insecurity, yes.
And sometimes it now start affecting the mind and then gives you this low self-esteem kind of thing.
It
Yeah.
start affecting your productivity. You find yourself
Yes.
not being as
Yeah.
productive as you used to be, or it start affecting your intellectual abilities.
I think the last step I would say is for me and in my life, I'm always doing life in what if this thing does not work out? Always, I would say, always have a backup.
Yeah.
It's like, let's say I am slim and I want to remain slim. I know that body changes are normal.
Yes.
It's not abnormal for you.
It's not need to change exactly.
It's not abnormal. Things like maybe your hormones, things like pregnancy, things like oh you are stressed. you might lose weight when you're stressed. Do you understand? You might gain weight when you're stressed. You're eating too much. Yes, I think there's this thing called stress eating.
Oh yes, and
Something like that.
whenever you're stressed, there's usually an increased production of cortisol, so you tend to gain weight. So
Sometimes,
that is a
yeah.
factor.
So I know your insecurities.
Exactly,
They are
your
part of
insecurities,
you,
they
but
don't define you
yes, they don't define you. So
at all.
don't wallow in. Don't let it affect your mood.
Exactly.
Like, oh, today, sorry, today somebody made me feel that I will not now be happy. I will not now be agile. I will not now be productive. Like, shake it off. Those things will happen. It's not today they started happening. It's not yesterday they started happening, and they will continue
And
to
you
happen.
continue to
Give credit to yourself when you can. When you decide to, oh, you want to change. If you notice all those slow progress, you look back. It's not
like for
easy.
every single progress that you're going to
Yeah.
make, always try and praise yourself for it because
Yes.
trust me, it is not easy. Like it is
Yeah,
a
it,
whole
it took me time.
it is a whole but it is not easy.
I'm
Like
still growing because I'm still growing.
I'm still changing. I still want to do more. I'm not even currently. I can tell you that I am not where I want to be.
Exactly.
Then again, I know that I am not where I used to be. Like I have come a long way. I have come a long way.
I think that I know I've not always been on the victim side. I've not always been on the side that I'll be receiving things like, oh, Rosita, are you sick? You look so slim. You look so thin. Are you okay? I've also been before I used to tease people a lot. So there was this particular day. I won't call her a friend, but she's just somebody that I know. She was just walking. I was going ahead. So I was like, oh, I called her name. I was like, I've forgotten the way I put it, but she has this kind of large forehead.
Yeah.
You understand? So I was like, I think I said I can put my hand here or something like that.
Like, big boy.
I can't remember how I put it, but you know, and she was just like, immediately, she told me there and there, and she was like, Rose, this thing you said, I'm not proud of my forehead or anything like that.
Yes.
So what you said just made me feel really bad. That thing hits me so much. Like, for her to even had been that outspoken about it.
Mention somebody's forehead.
You wait now. That thing hit me so bad. I had to apologize there and there. Like it got me thinking a lot. I'm learning to be more kind with my words because words can be like a double-edged sword. It can. What if she did not speak out? What if she went to cry? What if what I said?
Because sometimes the person will just smile and laugh,
but they don't feel
but
good about it.
They don't feel good about it, but they won't show you that whatever you said got to them. Some people are just like that they won't give you that pleasure of seeing them like at your mercy because of what you said. Like, oh, this thing you said, it hit a nerve. I'm not going to show you, but definitely when I'm in my quiet time, I'm going to express like, oh, I didn't like what that person said. You understand?
One funny thing can even make people to crawl more into their shell.
Yes.
Can make people to cry. I feel like words can be very, very piercing. It's like when it comes from people that know you, your friends or your family. Like there's one so sometimes I tend to sweat a lot.
Yes.
And there was something that happened in my room that time. She's a friend of mine, but I'm sure that she not mean it that way. I'm someone that I don't know how to express my feelings that much. So I was like, I cannot trek because do you understand? I sweat, I have the tendency to sweat. And she was like, now you sweat like a goat. See,
it's not funny.
It did not show my face, I swear. I just felt bad, but I did not mention a word. That thing kept on ringing in my head.
Like it keep on like reoccurring. You're like you just like
it kept on ringing in my head. Like I was like, does goats really sweat? I was not even beginning
like does goats actually sweat?
I don't know. You know they used to say
like you're sweating like Christmas goats.
Like, you don't necessarily have to give an opinion about somebody's body.
Yes.
You might see something, except maybe that person is like your friend, and there are ways to say these things. There are ways to say, listen, are you okay? You know, there's a way to say something in a loving manner.
Exactly. And another thing too, like, okay, like making comments on people's body, like the only way you are allowed to make comments on somebody's body is if you know this person has been struggling to either lose this weight or gain this weight. And I'm like, you've gained little weight, so have fun. What are you doing? Because you know that this person has been trying to gain this weight. You're just trying to praise them like, you've lost weight, so how are you doing? That person, they are quite aware that they are losing or gaining weight.
They are very aware.
Trust me. If somebody is gaining weight, they know. Somebody is losing weight, they know. So you don't need to come and remind them, whether jokingly or not jokingly, whether you're trying to ease the atmosphere or reduce the tension. You don't have. It is not your business
I've heard
to make comments at all.
She's fat now. She's slim now. I'm not lying.
Exactly. I'm saying the truth.
You don't.
Nobody's saying you're lying, but you don't need to say it.
I've been at both sides, and I know because some people will not tell you. So whether you're someone who is going through insecurities or you are not, you happen to come across this video, try and be more kind with your words,
With your words,
or
yes.
don't even say, especially family
Family
members.
members, and I realized that this insecurity thing is usually triggered by people around us. Like
Yes.
they always this, just be very very kind and considerate, and always have this golden rule at the back of your mind that do to others as you want them to do to you. Because one day you can be in that position and you don't want them to
Never
do
say never.
exactly. Never say never. You can be in any position because
You know, the funny thing is that some people say, I think I was watching this video on PCOS,
yeah,
and it's like, the woman was talking about how sometimes there's even a reason why somebody can be a certain way. It might be due to a
exactly.
sickness or a condition. It might not be like as you see.
As you see it, as I know what this person is going through with the
already.
battles that they are fighting, to in order for them to get themselves out of their situation, and you just make a comment like that. It's actually not fair. Like people with diabetes,
Yes,
people with diabetes, like
too.
so.
As someone who's going through an insecurity, like me now, I'm someone to talk about. I think I'm doing it better now. When I get comments like, "Oh, you're looking in a certain type of way," I'll tell you that I don't really like the way this comment made me feel. It might not be instantly. I will tell you. Oh, I can come at you maybe after some time. So I think some people don't realize, like me, that time I was teasing people. I did not know that I made people feel that bad. Yes, until somebody outrightly told me. So some people too don't know. Some family members are just doing it for your sake. Oh, your mom is like, don't add too much, or your dad's like, don't add too much. You know, those kind of comments. They might not really know that they are making you feel very hot.
Certain type of way, yes.
Yeah, so you need to also tell them and let them know that this is how you're making me feel. It's only after you have done that and you see that this person is never respecting my feelings, and you know that there might be a problem.
In the journey of like changing yourself, there's this concept of individualism. Everybody is different. So whatever progress A is making may not be the same for you. Neither will it be the same for C. A can make progress in 2 weeks. You can make progress in 3 months. The other person can make progress in a year. It all depends on our bodies. Our bodies, they are different.
As well as even a lifetime
Yes,
thing.
even a lifetime thing, yes.
That you continue to see how you can manage yourself. It could be your health, it could be your body, it could be your maybe low self-esteem, you being shy, not being bold. Do you have any last words to say about insecurity? Do you think you have any?
Never talk down on yourself. Don't ever say,
it's like I read my mind.
Like, don't ever say, no, cause see the way you're fat, or you're just telling yourself, see the way you're fat, or see the way you're skinny. Like, look at your skin, see the way you're dark. Don't ever talk down on yourself, like never, because see, as a Christian, your mouth is powerful. You should always consider that the tongue is powerful. And whatever you say, so shall it be. If you don't try and uplift yourself, you will always remain in that shallow corner, or in that space, in that dark space. Because nobody can bring you out of your situation. You are the only person that can bring yourself out of your situation.
One that is going through this, I would tell you to take it easy on yourself. That's with the mind. There's nothing that you set your mind to do that will not eventually happen. And even before you go to read books or you go to check for podcasts, there's nothing that anybody can. Even if 100 people come and tell you that you look good,
Exactly.
if you don't feel good about yourself,
there's no way.
I think it's even now. When somebody tells me that you look fine, even if I'm looking like shit, I'm like, okay, I look fine. Let me just try and ask. It's now. Before I won't tell you, I can't even throw jabs at you. I won't insult you, say or something like that. But I'm realizing that it's not bad to look good.
Exactly.
It's not bad that somebody is telling you that you look good, even if you don't feel good at that moment in time. It's not bad that somebody is seeing you as a fine person, that somebody is seeing you as a sexy person, that somebody is seeing you as a hot girl. So whether it be a boy, whether it be a girl, you want to grow your abs, whatever it is, you can work on it.
Yes.
Start with the mind.
So
I mean, I have enjoyed this episode. How do you feel?
I feel good. I actually feel good.
Thank you so much for coming on this channel. I'm a fan of giving people their flowers when I can, and I want to tell you that I've seen you grow. You understand? We're not the closest of friends, but I know that I have been there at some point where you're feeling this way.
Yes.
And I've seen your growth. And I know that I'll continue to see your growth. So well done. I am proud of you. Thank you so much. I will check her out. She's a nurse. If you have related questions,
Related? Some that are just asking
maybe you were talking about PCOS. It's from there
Okay.
you grow now. You know advertise your this
That's true. That's true. That's
thing. You
true.
know whether your husband is even on this channel. You never can tell. Anyway, we have come to the end of this video. I do
Yes.
hope you enjoyed this video and you took something out of this video.
Yeah.
So Nia, please give us an outro.
Help presenter.
Help us to grow this channel.
Yes, help us to grow this channel. You to just like or watch this video and subscribe.
If you like it, you can share it to somebody who might want to watch it and to also be helpful. Guys, thank you so much for watching to this point. I am your host, Presenter, and my guest,
Niyen.
and till I see you in my next video, do take care.
Bye.